Oh, Dominique, welcome to the podcast. Am I pronouncing it right, by the way? I want to make sure I'm not. Perfect. Welcome to the podcast. So great to have you. I obviously know you from the Pitt, which we will get into, but I'm curious to know what kind of made you want to start this whole arts journey and like acting. I saw you also do music. Like, what was it that you were like, oh, this is it. This is what I want to do.
Yeah. I grew up doing theater. My mom had tried to put me in soccer and I just started dancing on the sidelines. So she was like, maybe let's put her into the performing arts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I basically started when I was 4 and I just loved being on stage and I loved making friends through theater. So I basically did that my entire up till high school. And then once I was in high school, mostly musical theater,
Mm-hmm.
I started for Broadway plays and stuff and got very, very close, but didn't end up actually getting into a Broadway play. But that's kind of when I was like, okay, I can probably do this professionally. But then when I went to college, I decided to just do music. I don't know what happened there, but I was just like, I think I went to school in New York, and the reality of what auditioning for Broadway is and how tough it is, I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't love it that much.
Right.
I formed a band when I was in college, and then I started playing around in New York, had a record deal, and just did music for like 3 years. Moved out to LA, and then I was like, but I actually do really like acting. um, and then the pandemic happened, so I couldn't do anything about it.
Right.
But during that time, I actually like I had just started taking acting classes in 2019 to kind of get into the on-camera side of things because it's so different.
It is very
Um,
different, yeah.
and then the pandemic happened, and then right after that is when I got very serious and I quit my job, and I was like, I'm just gonna do this full time.
Where
I
are you
don't know.
from originally? What city are you from originally?
I'm from Rhode Island.
Okay, okay, because I'm from New York originally, so I get the whole. Yeah, I used to live in like Staten Island a lot of my life. Moved to Brooklyn, did acting classes myself at the time. I was like going to the city doing that shit. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
Not sure if I'm gonna do the whole thing moving out to LA because I'm like, listen, I lived in New York. I moved out. There's a reason I moved out. Y'all's
yeah,
taxes are fucking crazy.
that is true. Yeah,
So
for
I'm
sure.
like, now I'm like settled in Miami. Like I'm pretty decent. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so cool though. Ugh, I love that. Well, like, okay, sideline dancer. No sports. Not for this one. No.
It's for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my parents also tried. They're trying like swimming. They're trying tennis. I'm like,
You with the kids, you just gotta throw them into everything and see what sticks. But
yeah.
yeah, so
Okay,
funny.
but noted. If kids are dancing the sidelines, maybe they belong in some form of arts. So that's okay. At least they know, and we might not. They figure it out themselves. But what is like your least favorite part of the entire aspect of it? Like, is it
Least favorite?
yeah, of like the arts industry in any regard?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it's very easy to get exploited as an actor,
Mm-hmm.
especially labor that you're doing for free. But whenever there's, when you get an audition that's like 10 pages long, which you're not even technically allowed to do anymore, but they're still doing it. I don't really know
Right.
why they're still getting
Yeah.
away with that. Things
Hmm.
that are kind of disrespectful of people's time without compensating them. I think that's my least favorite part of this industry for sure.
Right, right. I would also go out to say just like the competitiveness of it is like really like it's supposed to be engaging, supposed to be be working with actors and having and it's like well then you leave the window so small for certain people and then it's like it's kind of like the job industry right now where it's entry level but you've got to have a set of experience. So it's like okay, well
Yeah,
be honest
it's
with what you're asking for people.
yeah, it's just like the acting industry is kind of just reflective of the entire world. Like the economy is crazy, and it's so hard to get a job now for any. Yeah,
Yeah, in certain states it's easier than others, but then it's like other aspects of it, money always comes back and it's like well think
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Great for me in college. I have to think about this all this time.
It's a real rough time to be starting out for sure.
It's okay. I'm like 3 years into it. I think I get it.
Nice.
Y'all, careers are right around the corner. I gotta really.
Yeah.
But what really inspires you to kind of keep going? Yes, we got a lot of those struggles in the industry in our world. What is it that like yeah, I can totally get through this?
Great question. I think part of it is for some reason with acting, I've always been able to have some distance from it. I've never felt like if I don't succeed at this, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. And I know people like that, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not working out for them because it's not fun. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm able to keep going because I'm able to find it fun,
Mm-hmm.
um, which I honestly couldn't do with music. I took music very seriously. And so when it stopped being fun, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. You
But
don't. Yeah, you gotta enjoy what you do.
then just like, let's see what happens, which is a
Mm,
nice sort of detachment to have. So it's easier to keep going when you're not like so tied up into your identity of what you're doing, you know?
right. Yeah. You have to separate it. And like if like you did music, you did acting, there's always the aspects of like writing, of
Right.
screenwriting, directing. I'm always
Yeah.
someone who's like, I'm like,
In general. Yeah.
yeah, I'm someone who's like, if I don't do acting, I can just go to screenwriting and just write my own thing. It's like if people won't let me in, I'll make my own damn way. It's not a big freaking deal. So I wrote a few things here and there, but I'm like, I'm gonna leave it there. Focus on school, not let that shit distract me. But we're gonna get back to it eventually. Um, Now I don't know. So you are like obviously artistic. You make music, you make art. What are the 3 albums in your life that you're like, ooh, I these are the 3 that I'm like, I am set. These are the 3 that I can listen to for the rest of my life. Nothing
Okay.
else.
Okay. First is definitely "Okay Computer" by Radiohead. I actually wrote a Hamlet musical using that music, and so I spent like 5 years with it, deep listening. And if I could listen to it for 5 years, I can listen to it forever. So definitely
Sure.
"Okay
Yeah.
Radiohead." What else? I really love "Melodrama" by Lorde. I don't know why, but I come back to that album all the time at different my life. Like, yeah, I really love that album a lot.
There's something
Oh
about liability, man. Something about that song where I'm like,
my
oh,
god. Liability is like one of the best songs ever written, for sure.
it's like a song like I wish I wrote that. Like, oh, I wish I had
Yeah,
the
I
opportunity to
have
do
so
that.
many songs where I'm like, God, I wish I
I
wrote
have a
that.
playlist where I'm like, I wish I wrote this song. Like,
Yeah,
can I please have like I'll have like 0.5% credit, but can I please just say I
yeah.
wrote it?
Ooh, third album. Oh my god, this is such a hard question.
I know. I get, but people like they're like, wait, what do you mean only 3 in my life? I couldn't even do it. I'm like, what do you mean? No, no, no.
But needed to be something that I could come back to a lot and get different things from, and it has to like I have
Interesting.
to like not be able to get
I would
sick.
pick 3 different albums because here's the thing. 3 different albums, you can make a playlist out of it though. So if you can have like a first half of the playlist be like a happy feeling, and then go down the playlist sad, scared.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Third album. I mean, this is just an album that I listen to all the time, but it's "Modern Vampires of the City" by Vampire Weekend. Like that's just one of my
Oh,
favorite albums of all time, and I feel like
okay.
if I had to only listen to 3, then I'm sure I would listen to that again.
Okay, I have to look that one up. I haven't heard it yet.
It's great.
Um,
It's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
so you're from Rhode Island. What is like a childhood memory that like has stuck with you, and you're like, this is it. This is like, was it you finding the arts? Was it a different aspect in life that's like this is like a favorite childhood memory?
I have a very early memory of doing a singing competition at a fair, at like a county fair, when I had to have been like 5 or 6.
Right.
I remember the song, which was "A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes" from Cinderella, because I probably had just watched Cinderella, and I won a fuzzy hot pink puppet, and it was like the best day of my life. I still remember that. I don't remember a lot.
Do you still have it or no?
I wish. No, I moved around a lot, so I didn't keep a lot of stuff from childhood. But yeah,
Damn, that pink fuzzy puppet somewhere, and someone else has it. It's like, yeah, but they don't.
picture in my mind, which is crazy.
God, if you could, would you live in California for the rest of your life? Are you like this is like sort of like this is easier for networking, or are you trying to like move out, live somewhere else for the rest of your life?
I
What's the
had
vibe?
to live in America for the rest of my life. Sure,
Right. Okay.
want to do that.
Sure.
So, I love LA. I think of all the cities that I've lived in America, it's the most aligned with my values and the way that I like to live my life.
Fair.
And I've made a great community of friends, and so it's not. It is. You can find the other side of LA. Everyone thinks of like Kardashians and all of that influencer culture.
Thinking like price, the quality of life with the how expensive it is. I'm like, I don't know if it's worth it for me personally.
Yeah, it is. But coming from New York, I found it comparable. It's just like you get different things. So like I have a backyard now, which is great. Like rent's expensive, but it's also like a
It makes
beautiful
sense why.
house. You know, it's
Yeah.
um yeah. I like LA a lot, and I think that you just have to be able to find your community. And there's so many different communities in LA. It's not just one, which a lot of people don't know until they
Yeah.
move out. Yeah.
But if it's a bit outside of America, do you have like a place where you're like, oh, one day I'm gonna get a house and that
London.
I've
I
got
love
family in London. I've got family there. Yes. Oh my god.
I have a visa, like I can work in London. And there's been times where I've been like, okay, I'm going to move there, and then I booked the last time I moved there is when I booked the Pitt. So then I was like, I can't.
No, bro. London can wait. London, they just got the first season or whatever. Did they get season 2 or just season 1?
What?
Did they just get season 2 as well, or just season 1? I don't even know.
I think they just got season 1. Yeah.
So now they gotta wait even longer for season 3.
It's true. It's true.
Now you definitely don't want to move there because like you're not even going to be featured. Okay, but like listen, they ask you about, you gotta stay in LA because what if they ask you back? Like I can't just be in London. I gotta
yeah, it's true.
I love it. Yeah. So this is a kind of a deeper question that I tend to ask people. We could skip it. I don't know, but like, is there a perspective on mental health you had as a teenager that you've kind of that has changed since you've lived your life as an adult?
A perspective on my life that I had as a teenager?
On mental health specifically, like.
Ooh, on mental health specifically. Ooh, yeah. Let me think about that. That's a great question.
Thank you.
I think, and this is something I'm
sorry.
Still.
Also, purple. I just.
Nice.
Dude, I swear, this is just an insane coincidence because I genuinely don't meet people who just love purple. This is like, wait, I feel severely exposed.
Whole room right now.
No, it's okay. I would paint my walls purple. They just got painted baby blue though. Actually, to be fair, you know what? Colorblind person would say it's lilac. It's fine. It's fine. Sorry, go ahead.
It's all good. When I was a teenager, I overall was pretty confident, but and I'm still working through this, would internalize other people's mistreatment of me as a reflection of like, what did I do wrong? When they could have just been an asshole. I also had a string of like unrequited crushes. Like I was very into people who did not care about me at all, which I didn't realize at the time was like a self-worth thing, and I didn't have the tools to work through that. So that was like a big part of my teenage life. And yeah, as an adult, and honestly, I've only really gotten there in the last 4-5 years. Truly being confident in who you are and like being proud of who you are and like holding promises to yourself kind of inoculates you against when people don't really see your value, you know, when you're kind of just like, I legitimately know that I'm a cool person. So it's
for sure.
to be like, okay, that's a you thing. You know,
working through it. There's always room for mental health growth and like learning things. Yeah. I'm also going to that thing of like, I don't really need to know everything about everyone's actions towards me. It's like sometimes they just don't. Like I'm going through such a breakup.
How it makes you feel, basically.
Exactly. And it's like people like will treat you differently than you did like 6 months ago. And sometimes it's just because they had some sort of like epiphany that you don't need to know about. It's not a big deal if you don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I hadn't realized that kind of hurts though, because you're like, damn.
Luckily, I learned that very young, that no one's thinking about you. I think that's one of the freest things you can ever.
And they won't treat you the way that you exactly the way you want them to. So you can't be mad at them for that.
Yeah, not everything's about you.
But on that same note, it's like if you can give yourself advice 5 years into the future, what advice would you give? Not regarding mental health, just regarding life.
In the future, that's so interesting. I feel like people always want to give their past selves advice.
What would they do to change? You're still going to wind up being you. That's the thing.
I think for my future self, I would want to remind her to keep making the choices that push her out of her comfort zone, because I think it's easier as you get older to like kind of tend towards stability and safety, because life is hard and it's like you just want to be comfy. But I just stand by the scariest things I've done in life have always been the most worth doing and push you forward.
And if it's scary, if you're nervous, it means it freaking matters at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Now, what is like a hyperfixation for you that's like, oh, I can go on like a 40-minute TED talk about, no preparation, just like start the timer, I'll go now.
Historical fashion for sure. I'm
okay,
very.
Let's put you in the Met Gala or something. I feel like
you I would love that. Yeah. Like I can slay a fashion exhibition. Like I know I can generally tell what time period things are from, usually down to the decade, at least for the last century or so. But yeah, that's always
like last decade. Like, no, girl, that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think over time, just watching movies, and I used to want to be a fashion designer, and so I've always kind of studied these things and then kind of had such a library of knowledge that eventually I was like, oh, this looks like this, which I know takes place then, and that kind of just built out to that. So I could probably go on a whole tangent about historical fashion.
I love that. about you. That's so cool. I can see that for you though. I don't know. Like I get that vibe.
Yeah.
If you can relive any moment in your life, what would it be? Like, would it be that the prize you got back when you were like 4 or 5? Would it be something else? Would it be like getting a specific call about a role, or would it be that?
I had this really magical night in Paris when I was studying abroad, where I was out with my friends. It was got to be like 2 in the morning or something. We were all sitting on a bridge. The bridge was like pretty much empty because Paris isn't like a late city, and we were just sitting around in a group. And then just a random stranger, came over and started playing guitar and singing, and he was incredible. We all had this really deep discussion. Then someone came by and like dropped off a bottle of wine and just kept walking. It was just like one of the most magical nights of my life. And I think we probably stayed out until the metro opened again, which would have been 6 a.m. And it was just, I don't know.
Let's go to bed now. Or are we just gonna go like hit the road? Like,
I went back home and I was still journaling pretty regularly, and I just wrote it all down because I was like, I don't want to forget this. This is just one of the most magical moments of my life.
are you still journaling regularly, or is it sort of something that's like kind of?
Wish I want to, because you forget stuff. You forget stuff. But I'm very bad at keeping it.
Me too. I have like 3 different journals. I literally just got this new one for like podcast planning. Okay, blue. This is
lavender.
Because it was sold as a lavender, and I was like, this is like lavender. You know what? There's lavender like little things here. Lavender.
Yeah.
So anyways, I get and my mom was like, you literally have 300 journals. I'm like, hey, I have one journal. You know what's crazy? I think it's also a freaking purple journal full of photos of child. Like I'm a hoarder. So I have a whole deck of photos here. I got to put in there. It's just like I'm very not crafty, but I'm just like very like sentimental. I guess I'll say it's like memories and stuff. And I can't like articulate how I think about certain situations. Sometimes I'm just like, let me just craft and let me create in ways that I think will make more sense. But yeah. Now, I don't know how long have you been professionally acting? How long has that been?
5 years.
What has been your proudest moment in that entire?
Definitely getting the Pitt. Yeah.
There, I was gonna say, I feel like that has to be it, because that's like the biggest show on television right now.
Yeah.
Well, on topic of the Pitt, I was curious to know, like, how did that come about? Were you like a fan of the show? Did you have like an agent like reached out to you about this role? Like, how did this whole thing come about?
I have a manager, and she submitted me for auditions, and it was just a normal audition. I had honestly never heard of the show when I got the audition. I had never heard of the show. I'm not a medical drama person. I'm very squeamish. I don't like blood, and I don't like being stressed out. So, like, honestly, I would not be the type of person who would normally watch the show. So I had no idea. I had no idea about it. And so she sent it. It was a co-star, which is like, it was 2 lines. And I did it within 2 hours. I did what I always do for auditions is I looked it up. I watched like a minute long season 1 recap, and I was like, okay, I think I understand the tone. I saw that it was like a little sarcastic and like dry humory, and I really liked that. And it felt very grounded. So that's just what I brought to I did 2 takes. They let you send in 2 takes. So I sent in 2 different takes. I didn't think about it too much, and I sent it off. And then like a week later, I found out that I got it. Yeah.
That's so crazy. And you were like, oh, great. Now I have you around squeamish material the entire night.
What was so funny is after I booked it, because I don't tell people about auditions until I know about, I feel like it jinxes it. When I would tell people, they'd be like, oh my God, I love that show. And I was like, wait, you've heard of it?
Yes. Yes, they heard it. Dominique, this thing won an Emmy. Like,
rock, I swear to God. Yeah.
That's insane. Like, here's the thing, like knowing, like not having heard about it is like, how did you not hear about it? This is like not watching it. Like, listen, I've heard about Severance. Have I watched it? No, I really haven't. But like, I know about it. So, how long was the entire filming process like for you? Because your character, I mean, we haven't finished the new season yet. To be fair, episode 13 is coming out, I think, this week.
Yeah,
I think 13. So like, yeah, you still could appear. I don't know. Don't think you're allowed to say anything. But how long was the entire filming process for?
Oh, what?
How long was the entire filming process for you? Like, in your.
How long was the time filming?
No, the filming process.
Oh, the filming process. So I auditioned in September and then filmed starting in October and then kept filming until January. So it took up a big chunk of my life. Yeah.
Because you're still working background even if you don't have anything to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what's so interesting about this show. Yeah.
That is so crazy that you're on this show. This show is so good. Okay, sorry. So have you since watched the show? Have you seen all of it? Are you still kind of?
So when I booked it, I watched the entire first season and I was just like floored. I was like, I'm so proud to be a part of this. Because as an actor, there's sometimes you book something and you're like, please don't watch it. But this, I was like, everyone, please watch this show. Incredible.
Do you have a character at all? Like, who's the character that you're like, this is literally like, I feel like this is my child. I love this character so much.
I really love Mel. I feel like I see a lot of myself in her for sure, which like people don't really expect because I have like, you know, an alt indie vibe, and so they kind of
like people are like, oh, this is giving this.
That's not me at all. I'm actually like a huge.
I love it. No, because everyone's like, oh, this is like this like I don't know if have you been seeing like people's like headcanons about Vivi? Like,
oh yes, yeah, I see a lot of stuff.
Very chronically online, yeah. Yeah. I love that. Oh, I love Mel is like one of my favorites. I love Abbott. I think he's just extremely. He just knows what that. Abbott's great. Sean seems lovely, but I'm like,
he like my uncle. I feel like he'd be really fun at Thanksgiving.
Oh, he would give you like all the what was it called? He'd be the kind of uncle like that would give you the booze. He like first like would like be like, hey, you can't do that. And then he's like, okay, but here's some
family, yeah.
Like here's some eggnog, here's some, you know, like I got you.
That's so funny.
God, Abbott to me is like, I just want to know what he's like off shift. Like honestly. So what scene is like you've seen the whole show, what is like a scene that you're like, oh, now I understand why they sort of won this Emmy? Like what is it that you're like?
I remember very specifically, it was the episode with the girl who drowned and had the little sister. Yeah. That episode was where I was like, holy shit. Like, oh my God, that really, really sucked me in for sure. Like I just felt everything about that was done so beautifully, and just the way Robbie kind of lets them know like she's not coming back, and the empathy and the humility he has in that moment is just beautiful, honestly. I felt like that was where I was like, wow, I really get it.
Yeah. And then that was the bear scene. I was like, oh no, I can't look at stuffed bears anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, where's that kid? Let's bring her back. Let's not bring her back on the show because please, no. But let's put her like in other projects. She's so good. So with getting this role, like, did they give any sort of backstory, or were they just like, you're just playing a nurse and then that's kind of it? Yeah.
You get, when you get an audition, is you get a sentence basically, which the sentence will tell you their age, their ethnicity sometimes. This one was open to everyone. And then it was just that she was called in to help over the weekend. That's all it said. There was nothing else. A lot of what, especially tiny roles like that, is they just want to see who you naturally are, and then they kind of decide. That's why it's easier for me, at least, to let them go, because they don't know what they're looking for. You don't know what they're looking for. So just like do you, because no one else is going to do it the same way as you. So yeah.
That's so cool. No, I have an OC sort of for the show. I don't know. I'm still kind of crafting up like, but I'm like, I'm so delved into backstory. I'm like, I'm getting every little crevice of this girl's backstory. I'm like, early life, education. Like I know everything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure for small roles like that, like what do they give you, if anything? But yeah, I kind of imagine. I was like, I feel like it wouldn't be a lot, because if it was a lot, yeah.
Even larger roles, you don't tend to get too much, and a lot of that you have to bring yourself, and just kind of, that's where the creativity comes into it, I guess.
That's true, yeah. I just for like this show, for like Mel, for roles like Mel and Samira and other like bigger roles, like, I think the actors did admit like getting like extensive backstories, but I'm like, how extensive are we talking here? Like, are we talking like time they were born to like their fate of the
it is like a collaboration as well between the creators and the actors. Yeah.
Did you come up with something of like the other regard of like you have like your own thing of like, oh, this is how I imagine her life?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, when I had only booked one episode, I didn't really, because I had 2 lines and I was just like,
there's no
problem. So then I was like, oh, okay, I will actually make her a full fleshed out being in my head, partially because I did end up sort of needing to have that backstory for myself for my performance. So yeah, generally I meditate which I learned in I went to acting like an acting workshop at RADA in London, and it kind of changed everything about how I approach
London
characters.
people are like next level prepared. Like they know what the
Oh,
heck they're doing.
yeah. I learned so much more in that class than I did my entire life, basically.
Mhm.
So a lot of it is just meditating in the world of the character and not even thinking about it and just letting stuff come up that comes up.
Mhm.
And then the other side of it for me is I have a Pinterest account and I make boards for all of my characters. So I add photos about like her living situation and like her just the things that she's into, the music she listens to, like all of that kind of stuff.
I
Yeah.
said, do you have a playlist for her? Are you like
I have like a head playlist. I haven't made one out like an actual playlist.
that's my first step. I'm like, I have to know. Yeah, I'm like my first thing is like I have to know what artist she listens to, like what she gets in the mood for, what her favorite movies are. Like I'm that level of like I'm making a letterbox for favorites for her. Like there's no realm in like where that does just not happen.
Yeah.
But if like who is like you haven't made it yet, but who like what kind of artists are on her playlist? Like what is the
I think she's really into 100 Gex. Like that was like
what's the
one of
genre? I'm not too familiar.
100 Gex is hyper pop. So
Okay.
yeah, and Vivi's definitely into like some energetic music. Just because
This
the
girl's
life.
at raves. This girl's at raves every other weekend. I can tell you right now. This girl's like a rave goer. She knows. She's trying to get to Lollapalooza every year. Like she's going there. I can tell. Did you like instill sort of like with making a backstory? Did you instill like certain personalities to her that are different to you, or is it sort of like is it sort of a copy and paste situation where like you don't know how to separate that barrier?
She's definitely different from me. I think that I can draw on experiences that I've had in my life that can parallel, but I mean, just I would not be able to be a nurse. So there's something about like the tenacity and the work ethic and the like ability to look at blood that I cannot do personally. So I think we have some character traits that are very different. I'm way too sensitive. But
No,
I
me
think
too.
I think we would be friends and I think that we would get a beer
I
together
was
or
just
something.
gonna ask, do you think you two would get along if she was like a real person of like
Yeah, yeah. I think that she would push me to get out of my comfort zone for sure.
love that. That's so cool. Yeah, I was gonna say 'cause I kind of brought up like movies and stuff and like movies that my own like character would like. Do you have movies that you're like, oh, this is the kind of thing I think she'd put on like when she needs like a little pick me up of
I
like
never thought about movies, honestly. I
really
I think
knowing her
I think
personality. What is something that you're like, oh, this would be kind of like, and like you also know the backstory. Like, what is a movie should go back for comfort?
I think I don't know if have you seen the movie Coyote Ugly?
No. See,
It's from
I'm very like, is it Studio Ghibli or no?
it's not like a critically acclaimed movie, but it's one of my favorite movies. And it's a real bar in New York. I don't know if it's still around. Where there's just like cool girls who are bartenders and dancing and shit. And I feel like Vivi would be into that
You know what?
for
I'm
sure.
looking at the poster. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So that's the first one that comes off the top of my head.
I love that. Oh my god, wait, so cool. My for some reason I thought of like Luca for my character because like she's a very like she's sort of a character like just didn't have much of a childhood and like a lot of stuff happened in her childhood. That like, that's a movie that she goes back to. It's like okay, it feels very like lived in like youth. That she's like I can kind of go back to that if I never need like some sort of like emotional pick me up. That
Yeah, that's a great
uh,
movie.
it's so good. And I don't know if you ever heard. Have you ever heard of like Return to Seoul? It's like this international
It sounds
film.
familiar.
It
I
was.
don't
I
think
think
it's
it was in a lot of like those like film festivals and stuff. I saw it in like a small little, like not a small theater, like not those like movie theaters you go to, like a bit of a smaller screening. Dude, real good. I was like, wait, I don't think I'd ever rewatch it because I think emotionally I was like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about that, but like it was like I get the message, but I'm like, I'm good. That is definitely another film like my OC, what I think I really like. Are you a video game person? This is a more of like a
yes. Yeah, I love video games. I don't play as much now as I used to. Mostly I just don't have time, but I grew up like I would
what's
play
it?
the Sims for like 10 hours a day. That was like my gateway game, and then I was really into Dragon Age. I like RPGs, like action RPGs a lot. Mass Effect.
Are you a D&D player as well, or did you used to play D&D?
So some of my closest friends are, and
Okay.
I've joined their sessions before, but I don't have like my own session right now. I want
Okay.
to. I need to. The problem is like so many people want to play with them that their party is full, so I have to make my own, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
No, literally, no,
And they're
yeah.
all actors too, so they're incredible.
But I know the creativity is off the charts. I'm like, oh, because I play D&D. Like, I try to at least like weekly, but with my friends. But I'm like, I don't have the creativity tenacity to this. I'm just like, I'm just gonna hit something and see if it works, and that's it.
It's crazy. The people who are really good at it, it's awesome. It is like a show.
They have had like experience, and I'm like, you see their good things, but I'm like, they probably were like us, who have no clue what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Have you? You've played The Last of Us. Have you played that game?
I have, yeah. I will say it gets too much for me. Like it's so dark. So I think what ended up happening is that I stopped actually playing it. I started watching playthroughs. I gotta skip
Yeah.
to see the cutscenes. But
Dude, these things are terrible. Because I have like a poster on my wall for it. It's like the only poster I have. I need to get another one for something else. For my favorite movie, for one. I need to get Dead Post Society posters. I'm always looking for them,
yeah, that's such a
but no one has the freaking posters because it's like, it's kind of it's like a classic, but no one.
like it's not really popular right now, but
Which
yeah.
is insane, but it really should be because everyone's like talking about the perks of being a wallflower, which is.
I feel like the dark academia aesthetic is like pulled
It's
directly.
back, but they don't really talk because for me it's like that's not set in dark academia. It's more like set in like the aspects of like freedom and like lack of conformity and all that stuff. That I'm like, it doesn't. The aesthetics of it are dark academia, but that's not the plot. So that's why people aren't really.
Yeah.
But no, I need to find a freaking poster for it. And I don't want to buy it on Amazon because I'm like, that shit's expensive. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to do all that. So yeah, because I have lots of those posters. I've played the game enough times that I'm like, I love this game. The show, I have my thoughts, I have my concerns, but I can separate the two for sure. What is the best piece of advice you received in your time in this like industry? Like, is it from an actor, from a director? What's kind of been like the
so it was the same professor at RADA. He said, I don't like to watch acting. But if I turn on a TV and I see someone and I can see that they're acting, I'm immediately disinterested. And that I've taken to heart. Like good acting should just be like you're watching a person. That has been the most revolutionary thing, I think, for me. And it's helped me when I'm looking back at tapes and when I'm choosing what to submit, I turn the sound off and I just watch it because I think there's so much that you can see, just whether or not it looks natural or looks like you're acting. So yeah, I think it's that at the end of the day, you're not supposed to be telegraphing or being anyone
it
looking.
Should be natural, yeah.
It should be so natural that the person watching you feels like they're intruding, really.
It's an interesting thing, yeah. I feel like I've gotten that as not advice necessarily, but I've gotten that note before because I did like a few acting classes and I'm like, I didn't know what I was doing at like 16 years old. I was like, I'm just trying this out. I have no idea if I'm going to do this. Like, yes, there's agents and managers at the end of these showcases, but like I'm not thinking about that right now because I can't. I would get my head butt too much.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I'm trying to think of like, oh yeah, this is really interesting because I'm curious to know because people like function better in the morning than at night. Like, what is your like best level of productivity? Night owl, early bird?
Morning for sure. My brain shuts off after like 5 p.m. and then after 9 p.m. it's not happy.
It's like white noise.
Very dark, and I'm like, I need to go to bed. So I'm a morning person for sure. I feel like I get
savings must suck for you then because you're like, why is it dark at 6?
Daylight savings is so disruptive to my life. It's insane.
It's like, why is it dark at 6 in the afternoon for no goddamn?
Because yeah, I'm sensitive to sunlight too. Like lack of sun is really like when I lived on the East Coast in New York and like when you can't really go outside, like you can go outside still here, which makes it a little bit better. But the dark winter hours, oh my god, so bad for my mental health.
It's like, what am I like? Yeah, what's happening? Because I would literally be in middle school at 4 p.m. and it's already dark. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? There's no shot in how this works. I don't understand. But it's over now, so we have a couple of months. We have until what, like October?
Basically here, finally.
We lost an hour, but who needs that when we got the sun for longer?
Always happy to lose it because I know that it means that summer is coming.
Sure. Are you spending a lot of money? Are you saving a lot of money? What's kind of been your thing of like, oh, I'm
definitely saving. Yeah, I'm trying not to spend anything right now. The industry is also very, very, very slow, which is I mean, we've been hearing that for years, but it's like especially slow right now.
Sure, because of like things that are going on with studios and all that stuff. I get it. It's not.
It's a really terrible time for
I really should be saving too because I'm like I'm gonna be in debt and I gotta really like make sure I'm like kind of keeping shit like secure. Like if I don't, I always feel like if I feel like I don't spend my credit score tank, so I'm like I gotta like find a good compromise.
Credit
And I don't know
score.
who taught me about credit score. I just know it has to be high. So I'm like I think if I spend, then I think
Yeah,
I'm covered. But I'm like
as long as you pay it back, yeah, that's
exactly. I've got some cash saved. I think. Ooh, we'll see. I'll have to go check every few months, make sure I'm still good. But yeah, I just bought like these like lip glosses and stuff. And I'm like, do I even need that? No, but I'll pay it back, so it's fine. That is so cool. So okay, I don't. Well, you can tell me about the show though, because like you can't tell me anything. These NDAs have been like keeping you.
yeah. Sorry.
That's fine. No, it's fine. That's fine.
Tell you that it was an overall amazing, life-changing experience, and I learned more from that set in a very short period of time. Like I ended up doing a short film right after it, and I hadn't really realized while I was still in it, like how much I had grown as an actor, both in my
Yeah.
skill set, but also just like being on set and um the fast pace of it. It's so fast paced that I was like, any other set I'm ever on is gonna be such like a cakewalk. Like it's gonna be so easy.
And this is
Um,
the issue with me. Like I can't watch any medical dramas because I'm like I need them all in like a day of a season. Like what? Like what do you mean we're jumping 2 weeks right now? No, we still have to be in hour 3, episode 3. What are we? It's just I was watching House MD. I was watching House MD before this show came in, and like okay, like, I could totally do a medical drama. Like House MD is pretty accurate. This guy's a terrible like bedside manner. Like there's nothing, but and then my professor in college brought up the Pit. I'm like, you want me to watch the Pit, the armpit, and the House MD? Like there's no shot. Spring break happens. I get in. I email the professor. Episode 10, season 1 dropped. Langdon got fired, and I was like emailing my professor, and I was like, how dare you? I hate you. I'm now hyperfixated, and my parents are going to literally be so annoyed. But thank you very much because this is a hyperfixation. And now we still talk about it to this day with the new season. We always, it's such a great immersive thing of like, oh, it's so good. And also the stills came out, and I was like, where's Vivi? I was like zooming. I was like, I don't see you at all. I'm like, I should be seeing you. I don't know where they put you.
yeah, and I'm always wondering who picks those. I have no idea.
I don't either. But you know what? Abbott's back. Mel, my girl's so stressed out.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, okay. Well, listen. Thank you so much for your time. It's been
Yeah.
such a pleasure to speak to you.
Like
I'm gonna be texting you like, oh, I see you in this episode. This one, maybe not. I don't know. I'm really excited.
we'll see.
Oh my God. But thank you so much. Seriously, it's been such a pleasure. Good luck with everything. Seriously, you're really talented, and yeah, I appreciate your time.
Thanks so much. So nice chatting.